What's up? I am back. Second video of the day. I've gotten my second win and I am ready to go. I am wearing the same green shirt as a lot of videos. Well, I don't have a whole bunch of clothes after I had a post scramble to get myself together after I got locked away from my things. But this is one of the shirts that is locked out of my uncle's. So this is the OG wardrobe. I love this shirt, but I use it to sleep in mainly because it's a beer shirt and I don't drink beer anymore, but it used to be my favorite. But it's nice and worn in, so excuse seeing the same shirts. I have very limited wardrobe, but I've done the best that I could with what I had, and I am proud of myself for that. So I got a lot of exercise today, as much exercise as I can get out in the hot sun without having a heat stroke and killing myself. But it was very nice today, and I am grateful for that beautiful weather that God gave us. So as I was talking about in my earlier video, wanted to do maybe my last video on narcissists for right now, but maybe not. I don't know. If I get suggestions, I'll do some more. But this was something that came to mind that I'm very much dealing with right now. My child is dealing with it, and I also dealt with it as a child, being raised by a narcissist. So it's very important to touch on this as well, because it is a big part of what narcissists will use against you and how they will treat their children. So just want to give you guys some knowledge on that so that you could recognize it and maybe know how to maneuver. It's very sad that they weaponize children. It's pretty much a, I would say, last resort, but it's very it's last resort when you cut them off and they don't have anything else to use against you. They can't love bomb you and pull you back in. So if you have children with a narcissist, then it is the ultimate weapon, because they're going to try and pull on your emotions to, one, get you to react because they know you love your children, and two, just to have leverage. So it's a big tool that they use. It's pretty much the last line of defense when you've cut them off. And then to your children, they will use it because this is how they manipulate them into doing what they want them to do away from the other parent. So yeah, weaponizing the children. When you're with them, they will do it to try and get you to do what they want you to do. If you are not with them, it is tactic number one for trying to control you, because that's all that they have left. They will do this to get revenge and prove their dominance, hence the court case, even though there's nothing against me with the state anymore. It's still win at all costs against mom, right? So they're gonna do whatever they can to win, because they don't want to be found out for the person that they truly are. It has nothing to do with what's best for the children, because this is obviously not is what's best for the child. But all of that gets lost, and they don't care about that at all. They just care about beating the other person. And then the children, they get used as a tool, unfortunately. This will hurt the child very much as far as damage, sometimes physical, definitely emotional and mental abuse goes on. But they don't care about that. They just care about winning. It's all about themselves. Again, very self-centered. Very self-centered. So they will gaslight again, but to the child, definitely, to lie and distort the reality to undermine the children's perceptions, to try to control their thoughts and feelings about the other parent. Even when my child was 3 and we were still in the same house together, things were deteriorating, no doubt, but when he would follow me from room to room, just enraged, not letting me escape the rage, he would do it in front of our child and, throw things and punch holes in the wall in front of the child, but then tell the child to call me crazy. Mommy's crazy. Mommy's crazy. Until the child was saying, Mommy's crazy. Mommy's, because he thought it was a game. Not the violence. He repeated, Daddy punched a hole in the wall, and would point to that place in the wall forever because it was very traumatic to him. But he did repeat Mommy was crazy because Daddy told him to, and he was 3. So what are you going to do at 3? Manipulation with love bombing. Taking them on trips, buying them video games, buying them big TVs that are, way bigger than what a kid of that age would need. Huge beds way bigger than a kid that age would need. Just you name it, anything you want, let's get it. Or utilizing their grandmother in my son's case to get whatever that they want, because I'm sure she's probably supporting even him right now. So she's definitely spoiling the child because that's where the money's coming from. Exploitation, pushing them into adult roles. Now, this one happens a lot. As far as, they're very self-centered. A lot of times they are grown children. They've never been made to grow up or be accountable or to be responsible for themselves. They often have enablers around that take care of their every whim and want and need, and come running to wipe their butt or calm them down and do whatever it takes to get them back to good again. At all costs, especially parents of narcissists who have helped create the narcissist, will come running and try to make everything better, try to sweep everything under the rug, try to overcompensate to calm them down so that they don't have to deal with their rage, or so that their rage doesn't bleed over into other people seeing their rage. My child has been exposed to a lot of childish behaviors that have been presented to him by his dad, and he has often been the parent and has told me that he has been the parent, as far as telling his dad not to drink while driving, his dad coming home and being enraged and smashing his pumpkin at Halloween so that he didn't have a pumpkin to carve, his dad having sex loudly in the other room, making him very uncomfortable, and my child having to speak up to him, doing parent things, telling him not to do things that a parent should know that they shouldn't do, but they do anyway because they're not grown up and they only care about themselves. They don't care about the child and what they're exposed to. They just want to do what they want to do, and if the child has a problem with that, then they will try to shut them up by saying, I am the parent, you listen to me, even though the parent isn't being a parent, because a mature adult should know that they shouldn't do that in front of a child, and a child shouldn't have to call the parent out for those behaviors because it shouldn't be happening in the first place. That's been a big one for us. Controlling, being over possessive. The video that I had posted about my child, where he's crying and telling his dad he doesn't want to be with him because there's always a problem at his house. And he was trying to make the argument about him fussing at him for sleeping on the couch, even though my child had been sleeping on the couch at his dad's house pretty much the whole time that me and his dad had been apart. Even some of the time that we were apart, he slept on the couch with his dad. So sleeping on the couch was never an issue, but he was mad at me about a text that I had sent to him, and therefore he created an argument over sleeping on the couch, and my child was taking up for himself because he had never been denied being able to sleep on the couch ever until that one night that my ex-husband was mad at me about something completely unrelated to sleeping on the couch, but that was the only thing that he could start an argument about. So my child caught the brunt of that anger that he had towards me because he knew, again, emotionally attacking me through the child, because he knew that it would upset me to see my child upset, and so he picked a fight with him while I was on the phone with him so that I would see the whole thing go down, and I would have to try and mediate the situation so that he would stop laying into my child about something he was mad at me about. Had nothing to do with sleeping on the couch. But this is another way that I know that my child is in survival mode right now, because He doesn't have anybody to advocate for him anymore at his dad's house. I used to have to drop everything while I was doing cakes to come pick him up in a moment's notice because my ex would attack him verbally and emotionally to the point where he would be hyperventilating, and I would have to rush and pick him up because my child would call me and say, "Come get me right now." And then when I would get there and I would want to go in and talk to his dad about it, he'd say, "No, we're leaving my backpack. Just let's go. Just let's go. Just want to get in the car and go and get out of there as quickly as possible." This happened several times, and in that video, it was the same thing that happens, and that's why I recorded the video, because I had no proof of the hyperventilating times that I had dropped everything to come and pick him up. I didn't have anything recorded, so I finally started recording him. He doesn't have anybody to advocate for him anymore, so he can't open his mouth. He can't defend himself because he knows he can't just call mom to come get him anymore, and that breaks my heart because, for one, he has to take whatever. He has to listen to whatever. He has to do whatever. He has to be at his mercy. He can't stand up for himself anymore because he can't call mommy to come get him. He can't tell mommy that dad did this so that mom can call dad and tell dad to stop doing that. He can't speak up for himself and tell dad to stop doing that because he doesn't have anywhere else to go. This is something that I dealt with being raised by a narcissist because my mom wasn't around. And if I ever tried to say that I wanted to be with my mom, then I would get in trouble for saying that I wanted to be with my mom, even though it was natural for me to be curious and to miss her and wonder what it would be like to be with her or to have a relationship with her. That was condemned. That was shut down immediately. And then when I got upset by being attacked for just wanting to see or know my mother, then I would be love bombed. Then I would be bought, videotapes, stuffed animals, whatever it was that I wanted at the time that I hadn't gotten already. They would immediately go out and buy it for me. And I'd say my dad or my dad and my stepmom, they would go out and buy it for me to pacify the fact that they were mean to me over just wanting to see my mother, which was very natural. I know that this is being done to my son right now because he can't express love or show love for me in front of his dad or his aunt. This is why his demeanor is very different when he's around his grandmother. One day, with his permission, I may post all of the recorded phone calls that I've had with my son since he's been apart from me, so that people could see that he is very different when he's around his grandmother. She is way more nurturing and way more understanding of his emotional well-being, and she doesn't make him feel as bad as his aunt or his dad about still loving his mom despite their attempts to turn him against me. I know that no one can turn him against me, but he cannot show that, and he stated several times outside of their presence that he doesn't want to hug. He wants to tell me goodbye and that he loves me outside of their view or their earshot, because he will be ridiculed and humiliated for doing that, because he has to pledge allegiance to that side. They make the child pick sides. They make them pick sides. It's not okay to love mom anymore because you have to pledge allegiance to me. You're going to be here and we are going to win. It's about winning. It's not about the betterment of the child. It's not about them being able to love both parents. They have to choose, and you have to be this way, especially in front of them. So I know what my child's going through. I went through it as a child. One time, not even about my mom, I wasn't focused on, no one would show me the attention that I wanted. So one time my dad was at work and I was with my stepmom, and I had to write a little essay on what I did over the weekend, and I made a bunch of stuff up. I think I was probably in the 5th or 6th grade. I think 6th grade. But yeah, I made a bunch of stuff up about how me and my dad went to the library and we played soccer outside. I put a bunch of things in the essay that I wish that my dad would do with me, instead of just coming home and, telling me to go to my room or stay outside and not paying me any attention or playing with me. I wrote a bunch of stuff that I wish that he had done, and He asked my stepmother to check my homework while he was at work, and she read it. And I got whipped with a belt when he got home. Instead of realizing or seeing the error in his ways that I was crying out for attention, that these are the things that I would want from a parent. These are things that I had seen on TV or had seen other people do with their dad, that I wanted that from him. But instead of it being okay for me to want more or, heaven forbid, receive more, what I actually got was a belt to my bare butt. Because how dare I? How dare I voice or write anything down that I wasn't receiving, that maybe I should have been receiving? It was, shut up. You're not going to get this, and I'm going to punish you for lying about it. This is what a narcissistic parent does. They will control, control, control. That's the only way. It's their way or the highway. They only think about themselves. It's never about the child. And if it is about the child, it's manipulation in order to distract the child from what's really going on with toys or whatever they might want, because that children are easy to manipulate like that. I have educated my child on manipulation and gaslighting and things like that. He very much knows what it is, but he doesn't have any choice right now. He is in a situation where he has no one to advocate for him, no one that really cares about his feelings or his well-being, nowhere to run to. So he has to fall in line right now, and that's very sad. What else did I not touch on? I think mainly when you are with them and they haven't, if you're not in the middle of a fight about something that is often done is this strategy to throw a wrench in everything, change plans at the last minute so that you have to stop what you're doing and you have to meet their demands, or you have to adhere to their schedule. What you're doing or your life or your schedule doesn't matter. Whether it was something that they really needed or not, they want to do this just to control your day, just to make you stop what you're doing and do what they want you to do, just so they feel that they still have that power, they still have that control. I definitely had that happen a lot, especially while doing cakes. If I ever had the child or needed to meet to get the child and I was in the middle of doing a cake, it would be, stop what you're doing right now because I want to meet right now. Or, hurry up and do what you have to do because I need you to do this right now. It was always trying to yank you like you're on a string. That's a big deal to narcissists. They want to pull that emotional reaction from you. They want to make you mad. They want the drama. They want all of everything that they want all the time. And when they're not getting it, oh boy, watch out. Here comes the major adult temper tantrum coming on. You will see that a 30, 40-year-old person turn into a five-year-old in 2 seconds. So that is mainly what I wrote down about weaponizing children. It is a big deal. I want you guys to also do your own research. I'm sure that resonates with a lot of you that have dealt with a narcissist, because if you have children with them, children are the first thing that they go to. If they don't have any pull on you anymore as far as the relationship between you and them go, the love is lost. You are hip to the games, the tactics. You have been through the ringer and you have cut them off, but you can't cut off the contact because of the child. Then this is what they do. They will try to get to you by using the child to hurt you, and they will hurt the child to keep them from you. So this one wears me out. It's very close to my heart, guys, because I have healed from a lot of things that have been done to me, especially from my childhood, and then also by this person that I'm still having to try and cut off because I don't want anything to do with them, but the child is still left in the situation and it's being used as a weapon against me. And I know from what he's told me that he's going through, and I know what I went through as a child. So it's very sad. And I want you guys to, educate your child. Tell them what to expect. Don't make them choose sides. The only thing that I have ever done for my child, as far as his dad goes, is speak up for him, advocate for him with his father, and try to stick up for him there. Make his voice be heard, things that were making him uncomfortable. And then the abuse that he reported to me, I therefore reported it to other people. I've never said anything that he didn't tell me that he was going through. So you have to educate them. Unfortunately, you have to tell them what to expect. You have to tell them how to document things, so that they can't call them a liar, because they will call them a liar. They will throw them under the bus. They will try to act like that never happened. So your children need to document too. Your children need to know that it's going to come from all angles as far as what to expect them to say about you. They know who you are. They're close to you. You have a bond. Please don't worry about that. Your child is not going to stop loving you. They may have to condition themselves to show that they don't love you in front of the other parent, but that love that they have for you is not going anywhere. So don't be scared of that. Use your resources. Get a lawyer. I tried to get a lawyer through free legal aid. You try to do that too. I'm in a very unique circumstance, so I don't expect everyone to have as many roadblocks as I've had. I have another set of things going on with me that will all be out later on, especially when I prove them, and then I can open up my videos from where I said what was going on, and no one believed me. But this is to come later. But you guys aren't going through all of those things that I'm going through, so definitely reach out to legal aid. I know there's legal aid pretty much in every part of this country, so advocate for yourself through that if you don't have the resources to hire a lawyer, especially because a narcissist will keep you wrapped up in legal stuff. And it's really sad with this particular person I'm dealing with, because his parents did this growing up, when he was growing up, and he hated that, and has voiced so many times to me how much he hated that his parents kept going back into court and dragging him through that. And yet this is what he chooses to do too. But of course, we have abuse that can't be ignored in our situation. So it's not the same thing that they were accusing each other of, but he very much knows what it feels like to be this child that our child is in the position of right now, and he didn't learn anything from it. But yeah, definitely teach your child about the manipulation. Teach them about, you don't have to call their parent a narcissist, but you can give them tools. You can make yourself available for them to talk to at any time. Don't ever shut them down because they need an outlet. They don't have an outlet with that parent. All they have is being railroaded. All they have is being backed into a corner and threatened, guilted, shamed. So you need to be there for them at every chance, so that they at least have someone that understands them and that they can run to. And hopefully it won't come to a situation like mine, but if it does, educate them. Educate, and be that open door, that unconditional love that they're not receiving from everywhere. You have to be all of it for them yourself, okay? And teach them how to love themselves and go to God and to speak their truth. All right, I will be back tomorrow with another video. I love you guys. God loves you. You're never alone. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Bye.